The story of Moses. Egypt was the strongest empire on earth, yet it trembled before one thing: Israel's future. The Hebrews multiplied, and Pharaoh feared they would one day rise against him. So he issued a brutal decree: every newborn Hebrew boy must die. But one mother refused to surrender her son to fear. She placed her baby, Moses, into a basket lined with tar, set it in the Nile, and trusted the God who sees what rulers never do. Pharaoh's own daughter found the child. Compassion cracked the stone of Egypt's royal cruelty, and Moses grew up in the palace of the very king who wanted him dead. He learned the ways of Egypt: war strategy, leadership, law, but his heart stayed tied to his people. One day, Moses saw a Hebrew slave being beaten. Rage and justice collided inside him. He struck the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. Word spread. The palace turned hostile. Moses fled into the wilderness, leaving behind the power he once knew. In Midian, he became a shepherd, far from the noise of kings, far from the chains of Israel. 40 years passed. It seemed like God had forgotten him, but God had been preparing him. Then, on the backside of a mountain, a bush burned without burning up. Moses stepped closer. A voice came from the flames, steady, holy, unmistakable. "Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground." God called Moses to return to Egypt, face Pharaoh, and lead his people to freedom. Moses pushed back. "I'm not eloquent. I'm not the right man. Send someone else." But God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the obedient. Armed with a staff and a promise, Moses returned to the empire he once fled. Pharaoh hardened his heart. Egypt trembled under 10 plagues. Waters turned to blood. Darkness swallowed the land. Disease struck man and beast, until the final plague broke Pharaoh's pride. Israel marked their doorposts with lamb's blood, the first Passover, and the angel of death passed over them. Pharaoh finally let them go. Moses led a nation of former slaves through the desert toward the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army thundered behind them. Death ahead, death behind. No escape. Then God split the sea. Walls of water rose on both sides as Israel walked through on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters collapsed, swallowing the army that had oppressed Israel for generations. In the wilderness, Moses climbed Mount Sinai. Lightning cracked the sky. Smoke wrapped the mountain. God spoke the law, 10 commandments carved not by human hand, but by the finger of God. A covenant between heaven and a nation being reborn. Moses carried the weight of a stubborn people, yet he led them with fierce faith and worn-out humility, interceding for them, confronting them, guiding them. He never entered the promised land himself, but he died with his eyes on it, standing on a mountain, seeing the future he spent his life fighting toward. His story is the reminder that God uses unlikely people, broken confidence, and wilderness seasons to build leaders who can stand before kings and set captives free.